What's up everyone? So today we are doing episode 4. So the plan today was to do my favourite client, but I could only get this fella. So we're going to go with my least favourite client. So before we start this video today, there's something we have to clear up, alright? So you're wondering why the title is the title of this video, alright? But last week he actually drove over my laptop, alright? So
it wasn't my fault.
It was totally his fault. So what happened was that I put the laptop down next to his wheel while he put his dog in the back seat because he needed to put the laptop in the front seat. Instead, he stepped over it, clear as day, got into his car, drove over my laptop and drove off. That was it. Whose fault was it?
Yours, definitely. You should have left it by the wheel anyway.
Yeah, well,
to be honest,
to be honest, look, it was my fault, right? I take full responsibility because this is what I get for having a client like that.
His glasses are also crooked if you see.
They actually are. Alright, so what's up, Kevin? How are we keeping?
Very well, how are you, Eric?
I'm good. Are you nervous?
Small.
There's no need to be nervous, mate. It's just
you can never be nervous.
So, Bear, how long have you been coming to Ian Fitness Nutrition?
From the first day you opened your doors, I suppose 3 years ago now.
Did it take, like, when you first made a decision to come to the gym, I suppose, to get something done, how big a decision was that for you?
I suppose at the time I was overweight, a bit conscious, and I didn't like going into gyms, whatever, and I suppose I thought maybe that you as a coach or personal trainer might look at me and think, oh, look how heavy he is, whatever. But the minute I walked in, I suppose you were very comfortable with me and you helped me.
Tell me this, when did you first come to Ian Fitness Nutrition? Because I can't remember.
When I heard you had opened the gym, I suppose I wanted to support you, so I suppose I got onto you and I texted you whenever.
Do you know, even on that whole support thing, like, you've a confession to make, because you didn't like me before you came to the gym, so how much harder did that make it to come to me for help?
I suppose I just want to be the bigger man here, I suppose.
You'll never be the bigger man. Go on, so tell us, when did you first come here? How many years ago was it?
3 years ago, I think, when you opened in CIT and they said I'd give you a chance. I went into it, even though I didn't really like you, I felt awkward, whatever. My top felt very awkward.
Do you know, even at that one, alright, because people come in for measurements, alright, and it's kind of something that I've changed since I first started doing it. So you came in and straight away I'm doing measurements with you. How did you feel that day, me poking at you, measuring you, coming in for the first time? How did that make you feel?
I suppose I was very nervous because I thought you'd judge me, but to be fair you didn't judge me, but I suppose that's how I felt.
Yeah, so you felt that, so you felt a little bit uncomfortable, I suppose. Yeah.
I thought that maybe you could judge me or whatever. I know you didn't, but at the time I suppose in my head I thought you would judge me.
Yeah, but even on that decision, so you obviously didn't feel great about yourself before you came. How big a decision was it really? Like, what were your thoughts around that time about yourself? How did you speak to yourself? How did you think of yourself compared to now?
I suppose within my head I had bad thoughts. I suppose I never liked myself, mentally I wasn't a strong person, I suppose, and even physically I just didn't look well. I looked overweight, and I suppose it made me quite an unhappy person as well because of that.
How long do you think that went on for? Say that you obviously didn't wake up one day and get to where you were.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took? Like, was it over a period of years? Was it kind of through the college or anything like that?
I suppose I was always a yo-yo dieter, but I suppose it came to 1 year where I really just couldn't stop eating, I suppose, and drinking and going out. And when I look back, it actually wasn't an enjoyable time at all. I thought I was enjoying myself and going out and eating and drinking, but all I was doing was going further and further into a rut, really.
Yeah. You went to the gym back then?
I used to go to the gym, but I wouldn't have been as
I don't know. What?
I was into the gym, but I wouldn't have been as, I suppose,
knowledgeable?
No, like routine going every day. What's that?
Nobody knows, guys. Yeah, no, I get so. If you kind of take your journey, alright, about how you feel back then, kind of try to define for us how you feel now compared to you did back then.
I'm such a more confident person now. I really love life. I think it's more about my mental journey as well. I've really aligned to myself, and I'm such a happier person now. And I don't need to go drinking. I don't need all this food to be happy. I don't need a lot of friends. I just need to be.
Do you still go out and drink?
No, not a lot, really.
Do you still go out and drink?
With you sometimes.
But would you say now that you're managing life a lot more, like the whole lifestyle to be in that? But this, and even what you're saying there, because I feel with a lot of people, you know, that they start personal training think about the lifestyle has to go. Alright,
Yeah.
so but like, and you just said there that you feel like there's much more to life than just living for the weekend maybe. So can I talk a little bit about that compared to what you used to compared to what you do now? Because you do have a social life, so
Yeah, I have a social life in the summer really because we have Cardigan and Kerry, but I suppose during the year, like I love on a Friday night to come home and maybe get a pizza that you can cook yourself, or ice cream or tails, whatever, you know. I just work them into my calories for that day, they'd be all factored in.
do you feel guilty after a night out or after having a pizza or anything like that?
No,
Do you-
because now it doesn't happen as often, you know, and if it is going to happen, I plan for it in advance. Now there are times where you can't plan everything, and if you can't, you just work back your calories the following day, the following few days.
Well, like, do you feel how's your education around nutrition now?
I suppose
And training.
you really educated me in nutrition and training. I suppose, you know, I can eat whatever food I want. No food is restricted now.
Yeah.
I actually prefer eating healthier foods now myself.
But you know, even on that, you were saying I educate you, whatever. But like, I would give you back, put the credit back on you, because I try to educate people all the time. But it's those that receive an education, that take the education on board and actually implement it, whatever. So, like, that is definitely since something I've been working with you that you've really been interested in, not just like telling you what to do, but you want to know the why as well. So the one thing that led on to this is what are you doing at the moment around education, around training nutrition. So that has led you to.
I suppose firstly you just complimented me, which
No, sorry, cut that bit. No, go on. Cut the bit where I compliment you, go on, sorry. So now, what do you do now to take your education a little bit
At the
further?
moment, you know, I got very interested in it last year, did a photo shoot, whatever, you know, I prepped with you, and I suppose I learned so much about food and training through that, and I suppose you gave me so much knowledge. I enrolled in image fitness course,
Yeah.
and by September, hopefully, I'll be a fully qualified PT and coach.
And is becoming a personal trainer something that you're interested in doing now?
It definitely is. I think I'd love to help people because I was on that journey, you know. I still am on a journey, I suppose, but I suppose I wouldn't be judging people, and I'd like to help people and show them that they can have a better life by just making small changes in their lives.
How did you find out this photo shoot? Because like, I think people know by now like that I'm not really into photo shoots, but if someone needs help with a photo shoot, I'm happy to help. But how did you find the whole photo shoot thing? Like, do you know, did you find it difficult leading up to it, before it, whatever, after it?
I suppose it was actually one of the most enjoyable times of my life.
Why do you think that? Why do you think it was enjoyable?
I suppose because it was such a good goal, you know. You were my mentor throughout it. I suppose you saw potential in me,
Yeah.
and then it kind of gave me the drive to keep going. And I just really enjoyed prepping the food every night, following calories to a T, following exercise regimes.
So you'd say it was like, it kind of gave you a new challenge in life, and whereas like it probably took the focus off other areas.
Yeah, it really did. And you know, a lot of people were passing remarkable and passing judgment on my weight and saying, "Oh, you're too skinny," whatever.
Yeah, go on, talk a bit more about that. Like, so, like, how do you find, like, what do you do with people, say, that do pass remarks? Say, before when you were overweight compared to that, now, so you're seeing the whole opposite of it.
Skinny
so
shaming.
so you're overweight, you were getting from angles, now that you did a photo shoot, you're getting from other angles.
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you think about all that?
I suppose that's what I really don't like, you know, but I've just learned to pass it off now. I don't care what people think of me. I suppose you shouldn't judge people on their weight. That's a big thing now, like whether they're carry weight or skinny, it's up to yourself what weight you carry, you know, and you don't know what happens in anyone's lives.
Yeah.
And I suppose just leave people alone.
You said something to me the other day that kind of struck a chord with me, because I found it really interesting, right? You said something that like, you've been doing this training nutrition with me, and like you're mentoring and doing photo shoots and things like this, you were going on to education. You also told me that you took a massive risk in your life that you would have never done, you felt, unless you went through this whole journey. So talk about building confidence, stuff like that. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I suppose I was never a kind of confident person in the past because I suppose my weight did hold me back.
Yeah.
And I suppose now going through the gym and all this, I just think I really transformed my life. As you said, I didn't take risks in the past. I bought a house, I settled down too quick, you know, I was in the house and I was all happy on my own, and I live in the country, but now I just took a risk and I said I need to sell my house, I need to do more with my life, I suppose. And that's why I even did this course, you know, the image course, and now I'm also enrolled in September for life and executive coaching. So I suppose I'm kind of looking at coaching in a big way as well.
Yeah. So would you say right now that your biggest transformation is more up there than anything down here?
Completely, like I've completely realigned my mental journey.
Yeah, it's interesting, like, because do you feel you even had the confidence to get in front of this right now, a couple of years ago?
Oh, not a hope. I actually would have
Yeah.
done this a few years ago, and I would have thought that you would have judged me if I was here.
Yeah. I'll still judge you afterwards. Though.
Oh yeah, that's alright.
Yeah. No, like that's all really, you know, interesting to hear, because I do feel that when people start this whole journey, that they all like they're thinking about the PT and they're thinking about the nutrition and stuff like that. But then people that don't realise how much they can change their lives. So yours went from wanting a physical transformation to a complete mental transformation, taking big risks in life.
Yeah.
They totally changing your career path, you know, in a way as well. So it's it's good to hear. But the main thing for me is the confidence that you build. You know, as much as you are my least favourite client and the most difficult person that I will ever deal with, I'm a little bit proud of you as well at the same
And as
time.
much as you annoy me,
Yeah.
you did help me
Yeah.
through the last 3 years, and you're a good friend now, I suppose, even though I don't like saying it, you know.
Yeah.
So I suppose, yeah, it works both ways.
But I'm we can't share that.